There is a reason why the eagle flies alone. There is a reason why the lion does not concern itself with the opinions of sheep. There is a reason why the strongest trees grow in silence before they are noticed. Too many people are losing themselves in the noise of others. They talk about people who are not thinking about them. They argue with those who are already ahead of them. And worst of all, they waste energy on things that do not add value to their destiny. Listen carefully. Your greatest enemy is not the people around you. It is your own divided focus. The more you focus on others, the less you focus on yourself. And if you fail to focus on yourself, you will never reach the heights you were designed to reach. Stay silent. Build in secret, move in wisdom. The ones who succeed are the ones who understand that the loudest voice in the room is not always the most powerful. Sometimes it is the one who is silent, working, building, and growing. So today, I am going to give you the keys to shift your life completely. But hear me well. If you do not apply these principles, you will remain stuck in a cycle of distractions. Stay with me until the end, because what I will share is not just information. It is a roadmap to a transformed life. Every person was created with a unique purpose, but the greatest tragedy is when people live their entire lives watching others instead of fulfilling their own mission. Stop looking at what others are doing. Start building what you were born to create. When you talk too much, you expose yourself to unnecessary attacks. Your words can reveal your plans to the wrong people. Learn the power of discretion. Keep your vision sacred until it is strong enough to speak for itself. Have you ever noticed how people who constantly compare themselves to others never find peace? This is because comparison is a never-ending race with no finish line. The only person you should compete with is the version of yourself from yesterday. Words are like currency. The more you spend them carelessly, the less they are worth. If you want people to take you seriously, stop announcing every move. Let them see your results instead. The strongest leaders do not waste time gossiping, arguing, or explaining themselves. They are too busy growing. They are too focused on their mission to be distracted by irrelevant conversations. Every time you stop to argue, debate, or prove yourself, you lose momentum. Your mind only has so much energy. Use it wisely. If your work speaks for itself, you won't have to convince anyone of your value. Build something so great that even your enemies cannot ignore it. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every comment needs a response. Not every critic deserves your attention. Learn to walk away from things that drain your energy. No one else is going to make you successful. No one else will build your future for you. Your life is in your hands. Focus on your purpose. Stay silent and watch how your life transforms. From today forward, make a decision. Focus on yourself. Work in silence. Build without distractions. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't matter. Stop wasting time on opinions that do not shape your destiny. The greatest revenge is success. The greatest response is results. The greatest power is self-control. Stay silent. Stay focused. Stay unstoppable. Every person was created with a unique purpose, a divine assignment that only they can fulfill. Yet the greatest tragedy in life is not death. It is living without ever knowing why you were born. Too many people go through life distracted by what others are doing, watching from the sidelines instead of stepping into their own calling. Imagine a seed refusing to grow because it is too busy looking at another tree. The oak does not concern itself with a bamboo. The eagle does not compare itself to the sparrow. Each follows its own path, focused entirely on fulfilling its design. Yet many people spend their days analyzing, criticizing, and envying others while neglecting their own development. You were never meant to chase other people's dreams. You were not created to imitate someone else's journey. Your assignment is specific to you, and until you lock in on that assignment, you will always feel empty. The reason many struggle with insecurity and frustration is because they have allowed themselves to be consumed by other people's lives instead of their own. There is a principle that governs all successful people. Whatever you focus on will grow. If you focus on distractions, they will increase. If you focus on comparison, you will always feel behind. But if you focus on your purpose, if you give your energy to building your vision, sharpening your skills, and staying committed to your growth, you will naturally rise. The people who achieve greatness are not those who spend their lives observing others. They are the ones who decide to be so busy mastering their craft, refining their character, and developing their potential that they have no time to engage in meaningless distractions. Your time is too valuable to be spent watching someone else's journey. If you do not focus on your assignment, no one else will do it for you. Your purpose is waiting, your future is calling, and the only thing standing between you and the life you were meant to live is your ability to focus on yourself and stay silent about what does not concern you. You were created with a specific purpose, a divine assignment that no one else can fulfill. Yet too many people waste precious time and energy looking at others, measuring their progress against someone else's journey instead of focusing on their own destiny. The truth is, the moment you take your eyes off your purpose and place them on another person's path, you begin to drift away from your own calling. Imagine a runner in a race who keeps turning his head to see what others are doing. Every time he looks to the side, he slows down. Every second spent watching someone else is a second lost in advancing toward his own victory. This is what happens when you become consumed with what others are doing. You lose speed, you lose direction, and ultimately you lose yourself. The world is full of distractions, but one of the most dangerous is the temptation to focus on other people's success instead of building your own. When you constantly analyze what others are doing, you delay your own growth. It is not your job to monitor someone else's progress. It is your responsibility to maximize your potential, to cultivate the gifts within you, and to stay faithful to your assignment. Every person who has achieved greatness mastered the art of focus. They refused to be consumed with gossip, opinions, or competition. They understood that energy is limited, and what you give your attention to will either push you forward or pull you back. If you waste your energy watching others, you will have no energy left to build yourself. Your time is too valuable, your future is too important, and your assignment is too great to be wasted on distractions. The only way to fulfill your potential is to turn your eyes away from others and lock in on your vision. Stop watching, stop comparing, stop getting caught up in things that do not contribute to your growth. Focus on yourself, because no one else will do it for you. Silence is not weakness, it is power. The wisest and most successful individuals throughout history understood that true strength does not come from speaking too much, but from knowing when to remain silent. In a world where everyone is eager to announce their next move, where people rush to share their plans, their struggles, and their opinions, silence becomes a rare and valuable weapon. Have you ever noticed that the most effective people do not spend their time explaining themselves? They do not waste energy defending their choices or responding to unnecessary criticism. Instead, they let their results speak for them. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. It is the one who moves in silence, strategizes in private, and executes with precision that commands true respect. Many dreams have been destroyed because they were spoken too soon. When you talk too much about what you are building, you invite unnecessary opinions, criticism, and even sabotage. Not everyone needs to know your vision. Not everyone will support your journey. Some will try to discourage you, others will misunderstand you, and some will even attempt to block your progress. This is why you must learn to protect your plans with silence and move in wisdom. Silence is not about isolation, it is about focus. It allows you to channel your energy into action rather than wasting it on words. When you stop explaining and start producing, people will notice. When you stop seeking validation and start delivering results, they will pay attention. Your impact will be greater when your work speaks louder than your voice. The most powerful moments in life happen in silence. Seeds grow in silence before they become towering trees. Champions train in silence before they rise to victory. A foundation is laid in silence before a building stands tall. If you want to be truly successful, learn to embrace silence, because the greatest transformations happen when no one is watching. When you focus on yourself and remain silent, you create the space for transformation. Many people fail to grow because they are too entangled in the affairs of others, watching, commenting, and engaging in distractions that add no value to their journey. But when you withdraw from unnecessary conversations, from unproductive environments, and from meaningless comparisons, you begin to hear something greater, the voice of purpose calling you forward. There is power in solitude. The greatest breakthroughs in life often happen when you step away from the noise. Growth requires separation. Separation from distractions, from negativity, and from anything that does not serve your destiny. A seed cannot grow unless it is first buried beneath the soil, hidden from sight, and given time to develop in silence. Likewise, your greatest version will emerge only when you take the time to work on yourself away from the public eye. When you take the time to work on yourself away from the public eye. This is why you must resist the urge to prove yourself to others. Stop explaining your journey. Stop seeking validation from people who do not understand your vision. True success is not announced, it is revealed through discipline, consistency, and results. When you focus on building yourself, the world will have no choice but to take notice. It is time to shift your energy. Redirect your focus from what others are doing to what you are becoming. Every moment spent discussing someone else's path is a moment stolen from your own growth. Stay silent, work in the shadows, and let your transformation make the noise. The more you invest in yourself, the more unstoppable you become. One of the greatest mistakes you can make in life is allowing yourself to be consumed by other people's opinions. When you spend your time worrying about what others think, you give them power over your destiny. You begin to hesitate, second guess yourself, and move according to their expectations rather than your own purpose. But here is the truth. No one will live your life for you. No one will fight for your dreams the way you can. No. So why waste your energy seeking approval from those who do not determine your future? The people who constantly judge and criticize you are often not focused on their own growth. They are spectators watching from the sidelines while you are in the arena of life. Do not let their voices become louder than your purpose. Their opinions will not pay your bills, will not build your vision, and will not walk in your destiny. Greatness requires focus, and focus demands that you silence unnecessary noise. Every moment spent explaining yourself to others is a moment lost in building yourself. You must learn to filter what you listen to. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every opinion should shape your decisions. True power comes when you develop the confidence to move forward without seeking validation. When you stop worrying about others and start focusing on your own journey, you will experience a level of freedom that most people never attain. You will begin to see progress like never before because your energy is no longer scattered. You are no longer distracted. You are no longer held back by fear of judgment. The only approval you need is from the one who gave you your purpose. And as long as you align with that, success is inevitable. Your time and energy are your most valuable assets, and where you invest them determines the outcome of your life. The reason many people remain stuck is that they waste their energy on things that do not contribute to their growth. They spend hours discussing other people's lives, engaging in arguments, and chasing after distractions instead of using that same energy to build themselves. If you want to see true progress, you must take control of where your focus goes. Think about a fire. It burns brightest when the energy is concentrated in one place. But if you spread that fire too thin, it weakens and eventually dies out. The same principle applies to your life. If your attention is divided between meaningless conversations, unnecessary drama, and constant comparisons, you will never have enough power to achieve what you were created to do. But when you withdraw from distractions and focus on yourself, you will experience a transformation that others cannot ignore. Many people fail to reach their potential not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they are too distracted to develop themselves. They are busy watching others succeed instead of mastering their own gifts. They are busy criticizing instead of creating. But you must make a decision today. Will you spend your life watching, or will you spend it building? You were not designed to be a spectator. You were created to lead, to grow, and to make an impact. But that will only happen when you discipline yourself to stop wasting time on things that do not matter and start focusing on what truly does. Your success will not come from talking about others. It will come from working on yourself in silence until your results speak for you. Growth happens in silence, but destruction often happens in noise. The most successful people understand this truth. When you talk too much about your plans, you weaken their power. Every time you announce what you are going to do, you invite distractions, opinions, and resistance that can slow you down. That is why the wisest people move in silence. They let their results do the talking. There is a reason why seeds grow underground before they break through the surface. Before the world sees the tree, it must first develop strong roots in secret. The same principle applies to your life. If you want to build something great, you must protect it from unnecessary exposure. Not everyone needs to know what you're working on. Not everyone needs access to your dreams. Some people will misunderstand you. Others will discourage you, and some will even try to stop you. But if you remain silent and focused, no one can interfere with what they do not know. Silence is not just about keeping quiet. It is about mastering your energy. Every word you speak is energy being released. If you waste that energy talking, you will have nothing left to build. But when you guard your words and focus your energy on action, you become unstoppable. Your silence confuses those who expect you to explain yourself. Your discipline frustrates those who want to distract you. And when you finally reveal what you have been working on, your results will silence every doubt. The less you announce, the more powerful you become. Instead of proving yourself with words, prove yourself with results. Instead of explaining your vision, manifest it. The loudest victories come from those who worked in silence until they could no longer be ignored. Discipline is the key to success, and one of the greatest disciplines you can develop is learning to focus on yourself while staying silent. Too many people fail to reach their potential because they allow distractions to steal their focus. They are too busy watching others, talking about others, and trying to keep up with others instead of mastering their own craft. If you want to be great, you must learn to shut out the noise and commit to your own growth. Every time you compare yourself to someone else, you lose sight of your own journey. You begin to doubt yourself, question your progress, and feel inadequate. But here's the truth. No two people are assigned the same path. Your race is yours alone. The more time you spend looking at others, the more distracted you become from your own goals. This is why you must train your mind to focus inward, not outward. There is power in silence. When you work on yourself in private, you gain an advantage that others cannot see. You become stronger, wiser, and more capable without the pressure of performing for an audience. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, and the most influential leaders did not rise to the top by watching others. They rose by dedicating themselves to their own process, perfecting their craft, and blocking out all distractions. If you want to change your life, you must stop watching and start doing. Stop talking and start building. Stop comparing and start growing. The only competition you have is the person you were yesterday. Stay focused, stay silent, and let your progress make the noise. The moment you stop focusing on others and start focusing on yourself, your entire life will change. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they are too distracted by what everyone else is doing. They spend their time watching, comparing, and discussing others instead of developing their own skills, building their own vision, and improving their own lives. But if you truly want to succeed, you must break free from this trap. Every minute spent worrying about someone else's journey is a minute stolen from your own progress. You must understand that your greatest competition is not the person next to you, it is the person in the mirror. If you want to be better, stronger, and more successful, you must shift your focus inward. Look at nature. The sun does not compete with the moon. A lion does not concern itself with the opinions of sheep. The tallest trees in the forest do not spend time looking at the others. They just grow. And that is exactly what you must do. Stop explaining. Stop comparing. Stop watching others. Just grow. Silence and focus are your greatest allies. The less you talk, the more you achieve. The less you compare, the faster you progress. The less you seek validation, the stronger you become. When you focus on yourself and stay silent, you unlock a power that most people will never experience. And when you finally rise, you will not need to announce your success. Your results will speak for you. Your destiny is too important to be distracted by things that do not serve you. If you truly want to elevate your life, you must master the art of focusing on yourself and staying silent. This world is filled with noise, people talking, opinions flying, distractions everywhere. But the ones who succeed are those who learn to shut it all out and stay committed to their vision. You do not need approval, you do not need applause, you do not need to explain yourself to anyone. The only thing you need is discipline and focus. Every great achiever in history had to go through a season of silence, a time when they withdrew from the crowd, worked in the shadows, and sharpened their skills. They were not concerned with what others were doing, they were only concerned with their own growth. This is your time to do the same. Stop waiting for people to understand your journey. Stop sharing your every move. Stop wasting energy on things that do not contribute to your success. Instead, put your head down and work. Train harder, read more, pray deeper. Develop yourself in silence until your results make the loudest noise. One day the world will look at you in amazement. They will wonder how you achieved so much, how you became so strong, how you transformed your life. And you will smile because you know the secret. You focused on yourself, stayed silent, and let your success speak for itself.